is so excited that he took time out his busy schedule
Yes.
to come see us and sit with us and give y'all some insight on who he is and what he do. He is a film director, entrepreneur. Y'all know I'm big on entrepreneurships because, you know, I always want to step out on faith like he did and do what your gift is.
And an author.
Yeah, because today I was pissed off at work. 'Cause I feel like the holiday tomorrow,
Right.
everybody was off but me. I wasn't smart today.
Right.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
He's a author, too. He's
Yes.
an executive chairman. And he has some exciting news because he have a film that is streaming right now
Yes.
on Stars.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
let me tell y'all, if you don't have Stars, they got a little free trial.
You better get it.
Sign up and y'all watch this good film. This
Yes.
our guest name is I got it, y'all. Tel K
Ganesan.
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 Yes.
Welcome.
Glad to be here, Janice and
Thank
Dina.
you.
Yeah. Sisters with opinions.
Sisters with opinions. That's right.
I'm going to give a lot of opinions today.
Absolutely.
Yes,
And it's just not,
absolutely.
it's no wrong or right answer.
Correct.
With your opinion, it matters to somebody.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So tell us where you from and what you do.
Originally, I came from India.
Okay.
Passion for cars brought me to Detroit.
Really? The Motor City.
Motown,
Okay.
Motor City. It's been 36 years since I've been here.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
You love it here.
Right.
Yeah.
I got a friend that he just say, "Oh, Detroit don't have Detroit." I'm like, people love Detroit.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, it has the
Awesome.
grit, it has the resilience, and that's my personality. So it kind of matches my personality.
Match your personality.
Awesome.
Okay. And you never look back.
Exactly.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'd be somewhere else, right?
Exactly.
I wouldn't be in your show.
Right.
In
Exactly.
Detroit.
There you go. That's
Exactly.
why you
yeah.
came.
The fact that I'm here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We love it. So tell us, so when you got here, because you came for cars.
No, I came here for higher studies. I went to Wayne State University.
Okay.
Did my master's in mechanical engineering. Then I studied automotive engineering. I went to Chrysler.
Okay.
So I worked at Chrysler for about 12, 13 years.
Awesome.
Designing cars, building cars, solving problems in cars, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. So now I need to know, how did you leave from designing cars to
Yeah,
designing films?
So the entrepreneurial bug in me, like you just said, right?
Yeah.
When I was able to do the job, 8-hour job in 2 hours, remaining 6 hours as an entrepreneur, what am I supposed to twiddle my thumbs and sit there?
Absolutely.
And then when you start knowing more about the job than your boss and boss themselves, you just can't do. And in a bigger company, yeah, you get a golden handcuff. Yeah, you get a free car. Yeah, back in the days they used to give pension. I think they even stopped that now.
Exactly.
When you work for somebody else, there is only so much you can do.
That's it.
There's so
I mean,
much-
nothing wrong with
So
that.
much you
Right.
can make probably.
Yeah, and there is nothing wrong with that. If that's what you like, that's what
Yeah,
you should
absolutely.
do.
Right.
But as you just said earlier, my personality is that I can't be contained. I came to America to enjoy goddamn freedom.
Did you?
Yeah, right? I don't want to be.
See when you can eat and when you can
Exactly.
take off work.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
not to be constrained, not to be put him in
Exactly.
a trap, and so I got out of the
Not to
trap.
put it in a trap.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Now it all
Trap.
comes together, right? I
Right.
didn't even start my
Dude.
story yet.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened. So I got out of the trap of being in a bigger company, and then obviously it comes with the risk.
Making
obviously.
somebody else rich, but go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
but you
ahead.
got to do the grind. You got to do the
do.
hustle. It's not easy,
It's
Right.
and you are to willing to give up everything, which I did. Obviously, from a high-paying job, I went to zero, right? And then from
That's
there,
the fear a lot of people
Yes.
have.
That's exactly that.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
What will happen to me? What will happen to my family?
Absolutely.
I have a
Absolutely.
401k. I have a mortgage. I have this. I
Yeah.
have that.
Yeah.
If I do that, I go to the street. The options
Yeah.
are, you're
Yeah.
going to go to the street if you don't do it right.
Absolutely.
And that fear
That fear.
stops people
All
from
the time.
taking the plunge. So now, in my case, what I did was I talked to my boss and said, hey, Vern, You know, you know,
Did you sit straight up when you
I
talked
did.
to
I
him?
did. I did. I was looking for a $5,000 raise,
Okay.
and he wouldn't give it to me.
Right.
He said, "I need a promotion." I said, "Man, I don't even get the promotion. How can I give you a
Give you a
promotion?"
promotion.
Right.
They always say
Yeah,
that.
they say that's a standard.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
Right.
policy.
Yeah, it's policy.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. It is.
There you go.
And who said that
Yeah,
policy?
exactly.
Right.
It's somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And then he said, "Man, if you quit the, I said, if I quit the job, whatever I do doesn't work, will you take me?" "Of course I will take you, because you're a role model employee."
Oh, wow.
So in that moment, I realized, Janice, what, I got an insurance policy from him.
There you go.
So it will be stupid
smart.
not to exercise the insurance policy. So then I went out, and then I started on my own. And then 2 years later, believe it or not, I'm not making this up, he himself will quit
No.
and started working with me.
Wow. That's wild.
So what I'm
see how
trying to
God
say to
works.
you,
Okay.
sometimes you have to
Step out on faith.
and walk in faith.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
And faith is such a powerful emotion. Many
It
people
is.
underestimate that. And when you walk in faith and start doing that and start believing, and then in my case, I already have an insurance policy. What's the worst thing that will happen?
Absolutely.
And then I always keep telling myself, what's the worst thing that will happen? I go back to India. I
Exactly.
said, fuck, that's where I came from. How could it be fucking, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yes.
Right. I just go back where I
Yeah,
come
go
from.
back where I
Right.
come from.
That's it.
How could I go wrong?
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So that gives me confidence. So now I
love
have
that.
several
There you
layers of, don't get me wrong, there is fear, but there is a way to manage the fear, is how I handle. One, asking myself, what is the worst thing that will happen to me?
Right.
What is
Yeah.
the worst thing that will happen to the job itself? And then I had it. Then I went with the full faith, and rest is history. And then one thing leads to another. I mean, entrepreneurship is not something. It's logical, but it's also illogical. The reason I say logical is that in your life you will meet a lot of people, and some of those connections can really take you to somewhere.
Yes.
That's
That is
so
not
true.
part of business plan.
No.
Right.
Right?
It's not.
And many
Right.
people it's not just going to MBA, read a book. Yeah, you can do all that. But there is thing called life, which is unpredictable.
Absolutely.
And many
Yeah.
people don't understand
don't
that. And they don't want it to be part of that. But of course, life is exactly
Yeah.
like that. So from
Because we're
there,
conditioned that way.
it's a
Yeah.
trap.
Yeah.
It's a trap.
It's a trap set by the society, set by the family, set by the
does.
generations.
Yeah.
It's like a bird in a cage.
It is.
It is.
You right?
You absolutely
Yeah,
right.
and so I got out of that. Then I started my own company. Obviously, it's not hunky dory. Went through all the challenges. I mean, I short of stealing money, I did everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, right. 401k,
Absolutely.
mortgage, 401k. A credit card, wherever I can tap
Tap
in,
in.
I
I got
tap
it.
in.
Yeah.
Tapping in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you got to
Tap
go all
in.
in.
You do.
Yeah. You go survival mode. But
Exactly.
yeah.
You know I'm calling tomorrow to cash in on my 401k. I am, don't you? Oh, they close tomorrow. I got to do it.
Oh, Monday. You gotta do it Monday.
Yeah. So why are you worried about something like 20, 25 years?
Yeah.
But you still have a lot of life and energy, and allow the chances of life to work in your favor.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And when you don't do that, you close those favor and you close those goodwill that will naturally come to you. And that's what I did. I mean, obviously, you got to have the faith, right? And then
You do.
You do.
And so
It's unfortunately that we let fear cripple us.
Yes.
As humans.
Yes,
We
yes.
I mean real bad.
yes.
But people don't realize faith, that's God testing you,
Yes.
testing your faith.
Yes.
You have to trust me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I
That's
have
so-
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 100%.
Seriously. I'm
It's-
trusting
that's
you.
very-
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like to me, faith is one of the most powerful emotion. After fear, love, and faith, both of them are the top three emotions, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It
Yes,
is.
they are.
and we need to figure out a way to address that. If not, that will take over our life.
Yeah. The I think the most important part of it is balancing.
Yes,
You have to balance it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's there. I mean,
It's there.
It's there, but you have to balance it.
100%. You got to
Yeah.
learn to live with it and adapt to it and manage it.
Absolutely.
Manage the fear.
Yeah.
So you got to tell us about this movie, Trap
Yeah.
City.
Yeah.
Trap
So
City.
obviously,
How
from
was
there.
it birthed?
From there, I got into this entrepreneurship. From there, I got into film. I produced a lot of films. and then Brandon T. Jackson, local Detroiters. I was making more mainstream movies. First time making an urban movie. And then I got into the movie, and then Brandon came up with this story.
So he came up with the story.
Yeah, I mean, he
Okay.
came up, you found us something, and then, and then we started working on it. And, then I got involved in the project, and I took the project to the finish line. And then I related myself, even though the movie is all about trap, but the trap applies to everyone. And that's how I was able to relate to the story.
Elaborate on that with the trap. Everybody is included in some type of trap. Is that where you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like for example, in the movie itself, I could say there are about 10 traps in there.
Okay.
Right. And the trap is that the Brandon T. Jackson, who plays the role of Deshaun, right? He has a dream.
Okay.
Right. But a lot of things, fear is stopping him from pursuing the dream. Right.
So he was trapped.
Right. He was trapped in that. And he has a girlfriend, and she's supporting him.
Okay.
So it's I would say the family support system is there to support him. Instead of going further, he's going for a glam trap,
There you go.
right? Stripper, mansion, this and that. But they only last Lambo truck, this and that. But then after that Lambo, what do you do?
Right.
Right? So that's the glam trap.
Absolutely.
And also the fear trap, because he's working for a drug lord. He doesn't know when his life will be on the line, et cetera, et cetera. It doesn't want to snitch. So again, there is a societal trap, the gang trap, whatever you wanted to call. But then when I look at a broader picture, all of us have the trap,
We all have it.
right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter whether you're brown, black, white, all of them have that.
Yeah.
All of them say, who the hell are you? You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah,
Who says
absolutely.
that?
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. That's
Right? And
yeah.
who set the trap in you?
Exactly.
And that is one of the things that I'm also doing is starting a new podcast called Mind Trap.
Okay.
And then I address all those challenges faced by everybody,
Body.
right?
Yeah.
Including
It's heavy.
Yeah, including the
That's-
attention trap
Absolutely.
Yeah.
from the social media.
Yes.
And it's an
like
addiction
how we
trap.
said
yes.
Yeah.
What was the second trap?
Addiction trap.
Addiction trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and attention trap leads to addiction trap.
It do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And then what happens is that, and then even as a child, the society kind of puts people in a box, right? And I'll give you an elephant analogy. I don't know if you know an elephant caretaker. As an elephant, he just ties a baby elephant to a piece of rope, right? And the elephant is attached, and it keeps growing and growing. It can even build this whole studio down, but the elephant believes that rope cannot make it go away. From what I mean. It's held. So the mind is like that. When you're conditioned, you cannot do,
You better
and
know.
you are subject to generational curse,
Yes.
and you cannot do it, and you shouldn't do it. Who the hell you are to
Right.
do that, right? Who says that?
Yes.
Right. Right.
And that's really what resonated with me as a movie. In this movie, Trap City, right? The sister is separated from the brother due to some violence, death,
Okay.
right? The man is separated from the past
Okay.
due to the past life, and he's redeeming himself, right? And the son is separated from the father through incarceration.
Okay.
But that is the city we all live in. In spite of all those challenges we face, we must walk in faith.
You better know
Yes.
it. Yes.
Yeah.
So the truth can prevail. And that is the story.
That's the story.
And that connected with me. I said, Amen, Alleluia. I got it.
Right.
So that is why I'm saying it doesn't have to you don't have to be in that environment to understand that.
Because everybody can
Everybody's
Yes.
going through that.
relate. Yeah, absolutely.
The flavor can be different, but it's still a soup.
There you go.
What you say?
With the same recipe.
It's the
That's
same.
real.
That is so
That's
true. Yes, absolutely.
Just because you put an onion, and you may call it onion soup.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I was looking at
I
the
like that
cast
analysis.
as the
I
cast.
love that.
I'm looking at Brandon T. Washington. He go from a comedian to now he's this
Yeah, star.
rapper. And then
I made him a star.
You made that.
Yeah, tell him
that, Brandon. You did that.
I did that.
And then I'm
God did, and I
Yes,
did.
and you did. Then I'm looking at Jeezy. We going from I put on for my
Rapper,
city,
exactly,
to
yeah.
a pastor,
Yeah,
and was a pastor.
yeah. Yes.
Believable
Yeah,
pastor.
yes.
Yep. Where I was about to save my soul. Yeah. So that's amazing to me.
Yeah, so that's how I got into it. You know, from where I started as a car guy to a tech guy to a film guy, and getting into urban film, and within the urban film, getting into a trap movie is not everybody can venture into that.
No.
And not only venturing into that, but also relate to that.
Absolutely.
Because you got to be authentic to yourself. You just can't be just doing random stuff because people will
But you
pick
can be
that up.
closed-minded.
Yes, yeah.
Just thinking out the. It's you have to be open-minded.
Yes.
Real bad.
Which you made that statement in saying that again, this is not just one race. This is everyone.
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 Everybody is in a
Everybody
trap.
in a trap.
Everyone.
Everybody,
I'm gonna
because
be in one tonight. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm definitely
You
joking.
play so much.
But everyone is one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And-
Because I think when you hear the title, some people are thinking, "Oh, it's a strip club," or "It's this."
Yes,
Right.
yes,
Right.
yes,
Right.
yes.
Yeah.
So
So basically, the message is that no matter how much you're trapped, there is always a way out.
There's
And the way
always a
out is faith. And the antidote to fear is courage.
it is courage.
courage.
Yeah. So when you have a lot of fear, apply more courage, the fear goes away.
It goes away.
And the reason fear doesn't go away because we don't deploy that courage in there, and we are allowing ourselves the fear to take over. Because they all are in the same spectrum. Right? On one side is fear, other side is courage. They are just opposite sides of the same coin.
That's awesome. See how you learn.
Yeah, I didn't look at it like
all
that.
learn from each
I kind of, in that perspective, I think sometimes when an individual have that fear take over them so much that they haven't had enough positivity in their
Yes,
life,
yes.
Absolutely.
where they don't know how to separate it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
They don't,
yeah.
they don't know how to handle that
Yeah.
because that's all they have encountered.
100%. And that is what I said earlier, because that's also a trap, because that comes from the family, that comes from where they grew up, that come from the
All from
environment.
home, all
Yeah,
the environment,
yeah, right.
absolutely.
And they have to get out of it for them to have a much better life. Otherwise, you are in a vicious cycle. And that cycle keeps
Yes,
repeating
repeats
yourself.
itself.
And that's what this trap city is all about. In spite of all those things, you have to figure out a way to get out of the trap. And you can't just say, I'm a bird, I caught in the cage, I'll be always in the cage. And
Right.
sometimes the bird, the wings are not, the feathers are not clipped.
Absolutely.
And the feathers are out. And sometimes even the cage is open, but the bird doesn't like to go out. It still goes back into the cage. And that's
The
a lot.
comfortability.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
The familiarity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And but looking outside, you will see it has wings.
It's
it can
waiting
fly,
for you. It's waiting
and
for
it's
you.
open, and you can fly,
Fly, yeah.
and you're trap free.
Yeah, absolutely.
And fly high, but people choose not to do that, and they may blame,
Everything.
Always.
Makeup stuff.
Yeah.
exactly makeup.
Makeup.
The
Only thing
makeup
you have to
stuff.
fly,
Absolutely.
but they will do everything else but fly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And watch everybody else flying.
Yeah, and so when I saw that, I said, "Wow, this is an amazing story to tell,"
was.
and that is why I said I don't want it to stop just with the movie by itself. So I'm creating a companion to the movie, which is the podcast,
Okay.
which is Mind Trap. I talk about 10, 20 traps that people face in life, and then I bring people experience every trap in real life. Somebody who's in addiction, bring them on board, why they go through addiction. Somebody the family went through suicide, right?
Right.
Because a lot of people think suicide is something that a lot of families are affected, right? And it's such it makes a tremendous impact on the family. And they all take it very personally.
Yes.
That this person lived with me, all of a sudden he left me alone, she left me alone.
Right.
It's not that they're leaving alone. They themselves are trying to get out of the trap.
Absolutely.
So they're trying to release them out of the trap, and it is their way of getting out of the trap that they think that they got in. It's
Right.
nothing to do with the family that they
Nothing
are
to
in,
do with-
but then the family who's
Like
left
that.
behind thinking that way.
Right.
And so how do we address that? And so we are having a lot of conversations around that and bring people and create a lot of this awareness about the trap. Because when you are trap free, you can think free
I can think for you.
and you can fly free.
That's
Yes,
true.
yes.
That's so
Right?
true.
And
Yes.
it all starts with the mind,
do.
because the body follows the mind.
It do.
Yes, it
and The
does.
mind heals
Right?
the
And
body.
if the mind
Mind
is
heals-
trapped, how will your body
they're going-
function?
Absolutely.
And that is
The
the question
same
I'm-
level.
That's it. Yep. Absolutely.
It just get worse and worse.
Yes,
Absolutely.
because you're
It just
telling
keep going down.
Exactly.
Your mind.
Yeah.
And that is why a
Your
lot of
mind heals your
people
body.
Yes, it does.
post retirement they'll be used to be very active.
There you go. Yep.
And then within
Yeah,
few years,
true.
because they're not active, they die. It's not because they have physical health. It's really the mental thing is
the
taking
mental,
over.
absolutely.
And so that
Yeah.
is why I keep saying for entrepreneurs, keep working until you die.
Working on it.
There is no
Yeah.
retirement.
It's,
It's no,
Because
it's
if
not.
you do,
It's
you're
not.
gonna die.
Exactly.
because that's what I wait. That's what I'm working towards.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
That's what we've been trained to do.
Yes.
I'm working toward this
Absolutely.
retirement, and then after that,
You gonna check-
I'm out of here. Right? I mean, seriously, that's
You're
the
telling your
mindset.
mind.
That's
There
my.
you go.
Yeah.
You're
There you go.
indirectly programming or telling your mind that I
Yes.
gotta go. Go where?
Go
Right.
right.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying is that the movie is one aspect, but there is a lot of things that are coming out of that. Working on a book on the trap,
Absolutely.
mind trap itself, workshop, exercises, and come up with trap breakers. Right. When you have a fear,
Yeah.
what are the trap breakers that you can do in a simple thing? Meditation, yoga, this and that, and then also mind mapping, mind exercises, and then also both the scientific, also spiritual,
Absolutely.
and then create a holistic thing for the mind.
There you go.
Yeah, and
Yes, I'm holistic, so that's
yeah. So
yes,
so
I'm real excited, right?
just thank you. That one word I didn't know it's going to have a profound impact. So I'll pull some more words like that.
Absolutely.
She got
So,
trapped in holistic.
See, I told you, Dina.
Yeah.
Everybody is in a trap,
are,
and you got to
somewhere in a
figure
way.
out what is your trap,
Yep.
and get out of the trap.
Absolutely.
And so that's what I'm working on. I'm trying to turn this into a movement and make an impact.
That's awesome.
Beyond the lessons people can walk away from the movie.
That's awesome.
Right, movie you just watch 90 minutes, you're done. But what happens beyond the movie is the
Beyond the
impact that I
movie,
wanted to do.
absolutely.
Right.
You think you'll do a sequel?
No, I think it's a lot of work. Yeah. So, I did my part. I did my contribution, some story that I wanted to say. But the story, felt with me because I was also in a trap working for a corporation. I was also in a trap coming from India saying that, because in a trap, in the Indian community, especially in America, they are known to be IT guys, engineers, lawyers, doctors, motel owners,
Yeah.
hotel owners,
Yeah,
7-Eleven. Where do you see?
Absolutely. Yes.
Where do you see an Indian
Yeah.
filmmaker
Yeah.
that to getting into
There you
urban
go.
film?
Yeah.
Probably I'm the only guy in America,
only
entire
one.
America.
You made history.
And so
Yeah.
I asked myself, who said that I shouldn't do that?
Right.
Cares?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were
cares?
wondering initially. I said, "Man, this is a black movie or a brown guy. I mean, you don't know the culture.
No.
You don't know." I said, "End of the day, it's all people."
At the end of the day.
We are.
At the end
Yeah.
of the day.
Going through
Listen,
the same
Janice,
thing.
and I don't know who you are, but we are able to communicate, and you're laughing like
You
anything,
see? Yes, feeling good.
as if we are known for 20 years.
Yes.
Right.
And we coming on your podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
So we can get out of these traps.
Exactly.
Yes.
So,
Right.
what I am saying is that's really for myself. I when the society says that I shouldn't do that, then I wanted to do that.
You didn't.
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
did.
Absolutely.
That's why
You did.
you got me on this podcast.
Right?
If I were to be an IT guy, you wouldn't be calling me here.
I don't know. I'm in IT, so I might have like exactly.
So what I'm trying to say to you is that, like, all of us go through the trap, and the trap was set by the society, and I broke the trap, and that is why I got into it. Because I asked the question, who said that?
Who said that?
Yeah. So I keep on asking, who says that? And then when I don't hear anybody saying that.
Exactly right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So how is it getting into my head?
Exactly.
And
Right.
that's when I said, okay, I got to break it.
Gotta
And I
break
broke
the
it.
cycle.
Yeah, I break the cycle.
Yeah.
Now,
Absolutely.
my son may say, wow, my dad, he came he's doing all that. He's with Brandon T. Jackson, he's with Jeezy, he's Omar Gooding.
right.
Yo, what is going on?
Oh, here. Exactly.
Clifton Powell.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I
Right.
got a stellar
Powerful.
star cast into this movie.
You
How would I
do.
do that sitting here, right here in Detroit doing IT stuff?
Exactly.
Right?
There you
Right?
go.
And telling a story. And to me, this is one of the most consequential film, and I believe it's going to become a cult film because it has all the cultural elements and moments put together in one film.
In one film.
Right?
Yeah.
Rapper,
That's powerful.
Yes, it
getting
is.
arrested,
Exactly.
working for a drug lord, snitching, RICO case,
Yeah.
Yep.
viral phenomenon, falling in love with a drug lord's
Always.
girlfriend,
Yes.
ditching the girlfriend, this and that.
Yeah.
I mean, where else is it not what's happening in our culture right now? It's
the
all
time.
put together.
All the time.
And then faith and the church
Yep.
Yeah.
You brought
all
that
come
in there.
together,
All come together.
right? And
Yeah.
that's what this is all about.
Everything that happened in the Bible.
Yes.
You just said it out here in
redemption.
Detroit.
Exactly.
Put
Yeah.
it out here in Detroit. Everything. That
It's
Yeah.
a redemption story.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I feel excited about that, and I think I've done my part, and I think I'll stick to that.
You'll just stick to that. That's awesome.
It is awesome. It's beautiful.
Tell
Love
us
it.
about your book.
So the book was more about. It's more about democracy. I mean, I have two books. The first book is
Oh, you do have two books. Okay.
yeah, Pursuit. It started with the pursuit of the American dream.
Okay.
Right. So many people, especially when you're living in the U.S., they don't know how blessed they are, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's one of the most richest nation on the planet
is.
Earth. Yes, it has its own challenges. Yeah, there are racial divides. Yeah, there are all that. But in spite of all those having challenges, still I would say it's a great place on the planet Earth, because the choices in other places around the globe are not that much better compared to what we experience here, right? So I always felt this is a land of dream. This is a land of pursuit. And here, if you work hard and do it long enough, you will be able to pursue the American dream.
Absolutely.
And that's what that story is all about. Then I talk about how I came. I didn't have anything. Nobody gave me all this thing. And as an immigrant, you have to struggle, because it's not the same opportunities given to people who are born and brought up here, right?
Right.
You come as a foreigner. Let's call a spade a spade,
Right.
That's it.
right?
That's
So you
it.
have to doubly work hard,
Right.
right? If the boss is working 8 hours, you got to put 10 hours.
Absolutely.
Yeah, otherwise, with this foreigner guy, man, he's working less than me, man. What the fuck is going on? Why the fuck I bring this guy in here?
Right. Exactly. Seriously. Absolutely.
Right.
Right? I mean, let's be real. This,
Right.
Yeah. So you have to do all that, and then I realized that people who are born, it's not just my, India. It applies to all of them.
Right.
Somehow the second generation, they don't, after the immigrants, they lose that. It's really the first time immigrant who come into this country, they bring that somewhat like a tenacity, something that hunger that starts getting diluted in the generations to come. Right. And that is why I always push for that. Like, people with that kind of tenacity is what this country needs to elevate them. Because you're coming and it's a fresh ideas, fresh country. You're seeing new.
No.
And then you are like a kid in a candy store.
Right.
So that is why I could still, not do anything, but I still maintain the same mindset of how I came the very first day.
That's awesome.
In my mind, I
It's
think
a
I have not
reminder.
done
It's a
anything. It's a reminder.
reminder.
I always
You
go
keep yourself humble.
exactly
Absolutely.
grounded, and I tell my mind
Grounded,
I have
yeah.
not done anything. Don't get all this trapsody. Don't get all this entrepreneur get into your head. Check it out.
Yes.
Check out your ego, and they all got to go. And then you just came here the same way you are. Continue to keep doing the same thing. You will do really well. And that's what I keep telling myself.
That's awesome.
And that is serving me well.
Strategy.
Otherwise,
Yes.
my head will be bloating, this and that. I am this, I am that. I'll be walking on water. Like many people do.
Absolutely,
And then
absolutely.
you crash.
Yeah.
That part. You crash.
You crash. And
Yeah.
there is no longevity to it.
Wow.
Right. So I'm of a person who believe that is why I believed in this extending trapsody beyond that. It's not so much about how many years you live on planet Earth, in terms of biological existence. It's about what are you leaving behind your biological existence. Can I expand that almost twice the age of my biological existence in terms of impact? To me, that is the legacy,
That is
right? And that's what I'm working on.
powerful.
You know what I mean?
You hitting all my questions. I love it. I love it though. I love yes. He is. I mean, you.
powerful.
Yes, that's absolutely.
Yeah, your bones may go away, your flesh may go away, but your
Yep.
spirit
That's it.
and the impact and the words
Yes.
that you shared, and people taking that, oh my God, that guy said this, maybe I go and try,
Absolutely.
and I did this and their life got better. I left something in there. In spirit, I live.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I didn't even have to do that.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. I'm sorry. Wow, that's powerful. We all need that.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
it, don't you?
Yeah,
That's why you bought it here, didn't you?
Yeah.
We need it.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
much needed, and that is why that book you talked about the book, right? It's a pursuit. It's really a pursuit of happiness. It's really a path to American dream,
Okay.
right? Yeah, because many people, at least in me, that is one of the core values I created in my company when I was running it full time, and one of the core values is happiness.
Yes.
Because many people, and even it is there in our Declaration of Independence as pursuit of happiness, but then we forget that, right? Why are we doing this? Why are you getting a job? Why are you going to college? Why are you getting married? Why are you getting a kid?
Yeah.
You keep asking all those questions. It's
Absolutely.
happiness, dummy. And then they don't get that, and they are so sad and so depressed,
Exactly.
Right. Right.
and defeats
Yeah.
the whole purpose of existence.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
We lose
Because that
sight
doesn't
of- we lose
define.
sight
That
of
doesn't
it.
define you.
Yes.
That's the
Lose sight of it.
yeah. Absolutely.
It's there. It's in the Declaration of Independence for the country, but we don't have independence. And we live in a
We
country
don't.
with freedom,
There
but
you
we
go.
don't
We don't have
want
freedom.
freedom.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Where is it?
Right.
It's trapped.
It's true.
Exactly. There you go. Now you're speaking my language.
Absolutely. It don't take me long to catch on.
Yeah, so we are trapped in that, and we don't want it to do that, and we keep telling to ourselves, I am this a poor thing, oh my God, and we sort of get into the victim mindset, and we promote victimhood into victoryhood.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Then that becomes being stuck.
Stuck.
Stop.
And they're caught in a trap, and they cannot get out of it. It's like
Okay.
a bird in a cage. It's like an elephant tied to a rope.
That's something.
It's a mental chain.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Definitely a mental chain.
Really. So, what would you advise someone that want to get in the film industry or want to become an actor or actress?
Yeah. So I'm going to be real. Right?
Mhm, please do.
Film business is not for everybody.
Okay.
Right. Because as a filmmaker, you got to have a lot of tolerance, both financial tolerance and you got to have a lot of tolerance for pain, because the success rate is not in your favor.
Okay.
Right. Not everybody is going to be a filmmaker unless you're doing on a part time, unless you're doing as a hobby. Yeah, it's okay. But as a real filmmaker, you got to have the resources, and you have to have all the pieces. If you don't have that, you should not get involved.
Get involved.
But if you choose to get involved, you got to go all in.
All in.
You got to
Y'all
bet
hear
your
that?
life.
Go all in.
You gotta
All in. If
step
you're not
out
all in.
Step out on faith.
Yeah,
Go
step
all
on
in.
faith,
Faith.
all in, and burn the boat, and you will make it.
You'll make it.
But if you are halfway through, should I do it? Should I talk to my girlfriend? Should I talk to mommy, daddy? Then you're not going to make
You ain't
it.
gonna make
The fact that you're asking 100 tells me you ain't going to make it.
You already know you're not
I
gonna
already
make it.
know that because it comes from within.
Yeah.
But if you're talking to girlfriend every 5 minutes,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
that may be a nice thing to ask her,
Right.
but that's
That's
not
not
the
the-
decision comes from, right? So my point is that, and same thing with the actor and all that. Yes, a lot of people make it, but then when you look at all the successful people that they believed in themselves,
That part, yeah.
and without that belief, you should not go.
You should not
A, you got to have the talent.
Yes.
B, you have to have the belief. And third, you got to take the chances.
Yes.
And when you're out there hustling, working hard and hard and hard, one day it's going to give in. One day it's going to give in. It's a law of averages.
Right.
The difference between successful people and failure is very simple. The guy tried more times than the guy who gave up.
That's so true.
Very
That's
true.
so true.
Right? He would have given up at the ninth attempt. The guy at the 10th, he got a breakthrough. I'm not just saying it. It's scientifically, a lot of people have gone through discoveries like that, life like that. It's always like that.
It's always like that.
And you got to have that kind of a resilience, much like Detroit. You got to have the grit. You
Yeah,
got to have the
you're-
resilience.
right.
That's
Never
right.
give up attitude,
Never.
right? And if you don't have all of that,
Right.
please don't get in
Don't get in.
for the sake of yourself and for the family and the people surrounding yourself. Because it'll be a disaster. Because it's risky.
It is.
Yeah. It's not a hobby.
It's not a hobby.
This is something, you got it, like you said, it has to come within.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a calling.
Yes.
It's a calling.
Calling.
And is the calling within you or not, you got to ask. Just because some guy or a girl looking pretty in the internet or social
Yeah.
media,
Right.
I also want to
Right.
become. It's not
Yeah.
that.
It's not
Yeah.
that.
It's not that. It's something different.
Yes.
Now I
Yes.
feel bad when I'm rushing. Hurry up! I want this movie to hurry up and come. I want to see this movie. Not knowing they went through all of that.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's my take on it. That is from my experience. Obviously, it's only applies to what I say, and everyone has to go through that, is what I believe.
Yeah.
But if you ask me, those are my thoughts.
Okay. Sounds
Awesome.
good. When is your podcast going to
I think I'm already, we put together almost like 9 episodes or so.
you did?
Yeah,
Oh,
already recorded all. That's why I'm talking about trap wall. That bills are coming. It comes natural, right?
natural.
So I've done 9 episodes. I spoke for 9.5 hours.
There you go. Absolutely.
So it's all there. So I'm just downloading everything,
Awesome.
And then once we are done with that, then, we are working on syndicating everywhere nationwide. And then also we have locked up about 10 to 15 guests already
Okay,
in each and
great.
every area. A person went through a glam trap. A person went through addiction trap. Person went through the fear trap. And then how some person applied courage to get out of that. And they didn't have it. Now they got it. All kinds of things. Social media, anxiety, right? One of the things, anxiety is so much prevalent in the younger kids, in the Gen Z generation. So I wanted to address the anxiety trap, right? And then, with all the helicoptering parents, this and that, so much of anxiety. And so we need to get them out of that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so, so I'm working on that and hoping that, we create sort of a program that people can utilize, not just listening to the podcast, but also have a workbook, right?
Yes. Exercise,
If I have this trap, what are my trap breakers? What are my spiritual component? What is the
Yes.
scientific component? Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
Address that and try to get out of it. Maybe maybe in the process I may put some psychologists and psychiatrists and therapists out of
Teach them how
business.
to deal with
Yes.
And teach them how to deal with
That's
triggers.
Yes,
Yeah.
triggers. So what are your triggers?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And keep asking the question, simple question. If anything else, people forget what I said today, simply ask the question, who says?
Yes.
Who says?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you saying to yourself or somebody
and
saying?
it-
Figure out who that is saying into your head.
Right.
And stay out of those people. And then you are just an average of the 5 people you spend most time with. I think I'm not saying this. A lot of studies says that and make sure we stay with those people that are good to your psyche, good to your, Stay away from negative Nancy's, stay away from
Negative
Debbie
Nancy's.
Downsers.
Debbie Downer.
Absolutely, yes.
Absolutely.
And
Nobody
thank God your name is not Debbie.
Right.
And thank God your name is not Nancy.
It wouldn't have
Otherwise,
been today. I would have
exactly.
changed it if you said that. Yes. No, seriously. And don't
Right.
let nobody steal your joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff. We learned a lot.
Absolutely.
Are you still trapped?
I think I'm refreshed.
You can't be trapped.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
no, absolutely
exactly.
Well, I have something for you for thanking you for coming on. My daughter is a baker.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate
We
it.
appreciate you.
What kind of, oh, wonderful.
This is the Bissoff.
Oh, nice.
This is
Very
Bissoff
nice.
cake.
Please say thank you to her.
I will.
Yeah, I really
You
appreciate it.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
That's
And what a
yummy.
way to end the podcast with a wonderful
See,
touch.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you and God bless your daughter.
Can you? Thank
you.
you. You want to let everyone know? Well, we know how to watch the film, but watch it.
On
but
Stars.
any handles, anyone can.
Yeah, Tel K Ganesan is my whole handle.
Okay.
TELK as in Kentucky, Ganesan, GANESAN. And if they Google, they will find me
will
everywhere.
find
you.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
will
yeah.
find you.
Instagram,
Facebook,
everywhere.
TikTok.
LinkedIn, TikTok.
TikTok.
I'm not active in TikTok yet.
No,
either.
you
I
gotta
am.
get active. You gotta teach them about the trap.
Yeah, so
That's your niche.
yeah. So I thank you.
That's my favorite. Yeah, that's your niche.
Gotta get that TikTok going.
Yeah. So and yeah, so they can find me, and life is short, and enjoy and have fun, because life goes away so fast before you know.
It's so precious.
Yeah, it is precious, and it's a blessing to be alive.
Absolutely.
Tell
Absolutely.
JC
Yeah.
and Brandon, we want them on here.
All right, I'll put the word into the universe. Yo, Brandon. Yo, next time you gotta be on this podcast with the Sisters with Opinion. SW, right here in the D. This is where you made up, okay?
Absolutely.
Give the city, yeah, put some respect.
That's it. That's
Right.
it. They heard you.
Right.
We want to thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you so much for taking out your busy
Yes.
Not a
time.
problem.
Yes, we
Glad
enjoyed
we all
you.
had fun. Yes,
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 absolutely.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
And
much.
this is truly a pursuit of happiness.
It is. Absolutely.
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you all for joining. We will see
you
you all
next
next
Thursday.
week.
Yep.
Get out those traps.